Absolutely. Yeah. It felt really good to be back out there. The hard work that these guys have put in the off season, just really proud of them. It's fun to be able to coach them out here, playing some ball. Really good day. First one, out of tremendous amount of respect for our men's basketball program. When the ACC tournament, the hat came in, so wanted to rock that today. And then also what a tremendous job our women's basketball team did making it to the Sweet 16. Just proud of the way they competed, the way they fought, the fun group to watch, and just excited about those programs moving forward, here in downtown Atlanta. So it's an exciting time. We've been through a phased approach since we got back in January. We did 4 weeks where they were on their own discretionary workouts. The culture, the leadership that we have in this program, the guys handled that really, really well. Then we went into a 4-week phase with our strength and conditioning staff. And again, they did a tremendous job. Luke Harrell, our head strength and conditioning coach. We brought in 3 new strength coaches that have done a great job bonding with the guys, aligning with the culture, pushing the guys, getting a lot out of them. The before and after pictures, if you guys haven't seen them on social media, our guys have done a great job buying into the strength program and seeing results. Those are always fun. Then we had another 4-week phase where we did our competition Tuesday together, Thursday workouts, along with some specialty workouts as well. And just excited today to start spring ball. Obviously, we've got a ton of returning production from last year and even some that have been with us now for 2 years that have done a lot of great things for us on the field. Excited about where they are in this program, how aligned they are with the culture, the work ethic, everything that we talk about in this program. And then in January, we were able to add 13 new guys to the program that got here. It's a weird time. I hadn't met all of them in person, which is a first for me as a coach, having guys arrive on campus. But the work that our recruiting staff did, Patrick Suttis, Karina Hargraves, Thomas Greery, the evaluations, the background checks, the communication with our assistant coaches, they're really, really good additions to the program. So they've gone through all of the offseason workouts, really excited about who they are and the additions that they've brought to us. Excited also about all 10 full-time assistant coaches are back for another year, and just to continue to build on the things that we've been putting in place for the last 2 years. Just excited about that. We talk about all the things that we do in our program, all the ways that we practice and the ways we function. It's nice having some continuity to keep it moving and to take it to another level. So really excited about that. Is that good, Mike? You good, buddy?
Very good. We'll go ahead and open it up for questions for Coach Collins. If you have a question, please use the raise hand function within Zoom. We'll call on people individually, and we'll start with Kelly Quinlan from Rivals.
Hey, Kelly.
Hey, Geoff. You mentioned continuity. That's something that very much was on my mind as well. And You have guys back who are in your system in the third year with the same staff. How much faster are you able to work this spring just with that? And I guess kind of how quickly are you seeing guys pick things up even on day one?
Yeah, well, the nice thing about the continuity piece, we went through a deep dive into every single thing that we do in this program and had really, really good, hard, long discussions on everything that we do, the way we practice, the different types of schemes that we're running on both sides of the ball and special teams. And it's been really good to have a history and a background with each other and to know the growth and where we are in the program, the talent that we've got coming in, the talent that we've got returning. So all of those conversations have been really good. Our institution, Dr. Cabrera, did a really nice thing with the schedule with the spring breaks. So there was 1 day per week, I think a couple of weeks ago. So we were able to lengthen out the time before we even started ball, and all of those things that have been put in place for the health and safety of our student athletes, and for us to be able to deep dive into a lot of things. We've been able to have more meetings this offseason than we've ever had before, and it's been really, really positive. So just excited about where we are as a program and where we're going to be moving forward.
Next question comes from Zach Klein from WSB TV.
Hey, Coach,
Hey,
good
Zach.
morning. Just wondering, has a major core philosophy about spring ball changed from your first one back in Temple in 2017 to today, and how you approach the spring?
So anybody that has been out here, the last two springs in particular, we would try to create as much chaos and as much mayhem and ridiculous tempos and transitions and those kind of things. The energy piece, the effort piece, our guys have got down. The thing that we really focus on today is just the attention to detail, having intentional focus on every single drill, every single thing that we were doing. And the guys that have been in this program for 2 years, it was noticeable. And, I think the biggest thing right now is the culture set, the energy set, the effort is set. Now it's time to really focus in on all the details that are going to make us take the next step in the development of our program.
So just a quick follow-up. So that was the energy, the passion, the excitement, those levels. You had to instill that culture when you first got to Tech, but now everybody knows that what it's about.
Yep.
It's about. So that's the big change, I guess. You don't have to
100%. And then too, and you guys have been out here before. A lot of times there were things that would just be we'd have to play music to get the energy and to get the vibe right. Today, when we went team periods and even 7-on-7 team blitzes, we cut the music, let them play, but the energy, the effort was still there. But the focus piece, the attention to detail piece, got to take another step in that direction, and really excited about what we did today and moving forward as well.
Next question comes from Chris Vanini from The Athletic.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Geoff, WrestleMania is coming up, and Roman Reigns is once again the champion. He's obviously got a lot of connections to the program. What does it mean to have a guy like that in that position, who I know you guys have worn the shirts and stuff like that before, but what does that mean to the program?
Well, I still remember when I was here in 2006, just watching him play, the energy, the competitiveness, the personality that the Yellow Jacket fan base fell in love, his teammates fell in love with, and to see it on such a big stage, all that he's been through, and to be the superstar that he is, and however millions of followers he has and is in movies, he's still a humble, caring, hardworking individual that represents this institution, that represents this football program at such a high level. I was blessed to get to be around him in 2006, and now as the head coach here, have been able to continue and build upon those relationships. But he makes us proud by who he is, what he does, and all of those things. So excited to see him continue to be a dominant force on a global stage.
And are there any memories that stand out about that year in 2006 about him as a player? Anything that comes to mind?
Just how relentless he was. From snap to whistle, he would go as hard as he could all the time, and just personality, how much he loved his teammates, how much he prepared, his willingness to go out to do extra for anybody in the organization. And I think that's why people, are drawn to him, is just in his innate ability and his innate character to want to give of himself for others.
Appreciate it.
Next question from Ken Segura from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution.
Hey, Geoff. Can you hear me?
I can, yeah.
Okay. So I want to ask you a little more about what you're telling Zach about attention to detail. And can you speak a little bit to kind of, obviously, as you're trying to instill the culture, I'm guessing maybe you realize, okay, we can't quite drill as deep down on the details as we want to, but that's coming. Kind of, what are things you saw last year that, okay, here's some details that we really want to address? And maybe what are some things today even that you were already
Absolutely.
Okay, let's.
Yeah, so yep, I appreciate that, Ken. Did a deep dive into the penalties. We were one of the most penalized teams in the ACC, if not the country. Did a deep dive during the offseason on every single penalty, anything that was a consistent issue. Investigated the why, did deep dives into everything. We've communicated it end on end to our players, how important it is, the pre-snap penalties and the post-snap penalties that hurt us. We had 8 officials out here at practice today, masked up, keeping their distance, but they were calling things at the end of practice. I read out each penalty that we had during the course of today's practice because we've got a chance to be really good, but it's the attention to detail pre-snap and post-snap that we've got to significantly improve in Everybody in the organization is committed to it. Players, coaches, everybody, and just having those dialogues, throughout the off season, even today, really, really positive steps forward to getting better.
If I can ask a follow-up, like, can you give me a sense of out of how many plays, how many penalties there were, and kind of what you thought about that
today?
Right.
I don't have the sheet on me. I read it off. I think it was 8 penalties on offense, 5 penalties on defense, but we're trying to get that number down, play really clean football, pre-snap, post-snap, and play really, really hard between the whistles.
Great. Thanks.
Next question comes from Geoff Schultz from The Athletic.
Hey, Geoff.
Hey, Geoff. I know there's different kinds of penalties, obviously, but as a general rule, when you see a team commit a lot of penalties, what's that a sign of to you?
For us, we have to get better. We cannot hurt ourselves. We need to create margin, not give other teams margin. The moving the ball up and down the field, the making big plays on defense, all of those things we have to happen. Play really good, sound, fundamental football on both sides of the ball, but cannot hurt ourselves pre-snap and cannot hurt ourselves post-snap. And those are big things that we've talked about this entire offseason, and we'll continue to drill into the guys as we move forward.
Can some of it sometimes be players maybe not knowing everything they're supposed to do or their role, and now they're trying to catch up and penalize somebody, sort of as a way to, again, sort of make up because things just aren't clear and moving slow in their mind at all?
Yeah, so the big thing is we've gone through every single one. We've addressed it with the team. We'll continue to educate them in all kinds of different ways in our meetings and when we have officials out here as practice as well, and continue to drill down to make sure there's a heightened awareness on every single situation, every single thing that's going to come up in a game, to make sure we're on point with that.
Next question from Kelly Quinlan.
Hey, Kelly.
Hey, Geoff. Jeff Sims obviously had a great freshman season.
Sure.
Kind of what are you looking for the next step in his progression? And then also you have 2 new faces in that quarterback room, one Demetrius that moved over, and then Shaden Perry.
Right.
Can you kind of talk about just what's going on in that quarterback room and then what you're looking for from
Sure.
Geoff?
And I think one of the biggest things is, and you guys have heard me talk about this, is how much Geoff loves watching tape, has come in, once we got back over the summer, really studied the playbook, and he's come in. And one of my favorite things about Geoff is he's so humble, has a tremendous amount of desire to get better in every single phase. And he goes through game after game with Coach Pat Node, and just the decisions that he made that he would self-admittedly not make again, just the growth and maturity that he showed throughout the year. And you saw it today with his poise and his confidence, and leading the offense, directing the offense, knowing where to go with the ball. One of the biggest pieces, and this goes back to the penalty piece, is the cadence, the points, the mic IDs, all of the things that a true freshman quarterback had to do last year. Just his comfort level and his confidence in being able to direct the offense, to move it, knowing where to go with the football, knowing where to go with the run game, just tremendous improvements in that area as well. And then as a follow-up, Demetrius Knight, I thought he did a really nice job today as well. I was really impressed with the poise that he showed, understanding where to go with the ball, understanding the cadences and all the rhythms that we have to move the offense. And Shaden Perry, a true freshman that has come in here at mid-year, and a tremendously talented arm, and he will continue to progress and get better. But the nice thing about that quarterback room, great young men that really have a good bond. They compete, but then they also pull for the other guy. And there were some throws that were made out here today that were really nice. And you look over, and the other guys that were watching were just as enthusiastic, as excited about their teammates. They're actually out there still throwing right now together. So it's a good room.
Time for just 1 or 2 more for Coach. We'll take one from Ken Segura.
Hey, Ken.
Hey, besides Demetrius, are there any other position changes that you can share?
I think Ben Wilhelm moved from D-line back to tight end. But other than that, I don't I don't think so. I'll think through. There's 127 guys on the roster. I'll go through and cross check it with Mike, but I don't think so.
All right, thanks.
Okay, we'll take the final two. We'll start with one from Kelly Quinlan, and then we'll wrap up with Zach Klein. So Kelly, go ahead.
You have some super seniors and probably a bigger overall roster, as you just mentioned, this spring. How does that change how you approach practice? I know you guys like to run multiple huddles. Are you running 4 huddles? Like, how does that materialize in practice right now?
Yeah, so it's we're still trying to do as much as we can as we've done in the past. Not as ridiculous of transitions as we've done before, but make sure we're maximizing everybody's reps, maximizing everybody's development throughout the spring.
Okay, Zach, go ahead and wrap us up, please.
When I talk to you in 15 or 14 spring practices from now, Coach, you'll say, Zach, I'm glad we accomplished this because it was one of the major points of emphasis. What would it be?
Yep. So one of the biggest things is the focus piece. Make sure every single day we are focused on getting better, come even closer together as a team. And I think if we do that, have the attention to detail, the focus in every single phase of our program, we've got a really good chance to have a really good football team coming out in the spring. And I'm excited about seeing that progress.